He says, what about maybe a baby who cannot as yet sing the Nuyu, maybe it's in some difficulty, or some old and decrepit people who cannot sing the Nuyu, and you feel like helping them in a way. So what becomes of what happens in this situation?
Well, like anything, again, everybody has all the references I would say they need with them already, and that is that again, it's life is awareness. That's really what it is. Again, it's not what we think. So when we're asking the question, which is understandable, that's our literal side. And so we want to also see the real side, or a real awareness, how this relates to this question. So is it that we're here to figure out everything for everyone else? Is that why you're here? Or is it first of all for you to figure out your situation accordingly? You know, it's like a teacher. You're a teacher. And were you really able to teach properly, you might say, before you went through your schooling? No, you went through your schooling to understand how to teach and how to fit into the system, which you did. And so the same thing here. I suggest that people, again, study before they're out there trying to save the world. Because number one, you cannot save the world. You're infringing upon people's free will when you try to do that. This is what the governments do. They're always telling people, we know what's best for you. That's why we think for you, and all you have to do is listen, and we tell you what to do, and you do accordingly. Okay, so again, this is a very subtle way of implying and trying to do the same thing. Yes, we see what's going on in the world. I see too what's going on in the world. And so in every which way, I try and present a real wake up for people, because again, I respect their free will. I cannot intrude upon their free will. So if people decide to stay unaware, ignorant, basically stupid, dumbed down, and restricted accordingly, and agree with that, well, I cannot interfere with that. I cannot go, yes, I can save a baby from a burning building. That's a particular situation. Or from drowning. Yes, sure, you do what you can. But when it comes to people's personal lives and what they're deciding, if some person over there is deciding to get a vaccine and take pharmaceuticals for their child, well, I can see that that's not the best thing. But then again, it's none of my business either. I cannot interfere with that. So first of all, we start with what makes sense and what is most real, and that is, simply presenting, the possibility for people to become more aware for themselves. And I would suggest, Charles, to tell them these Skypes here, because I've given a lot of definition, and it's a big course, Charles. This is not just like, oh, I believe, okay? It's not about that. Life is big. This is a big course. So I suggest to take the time to listen to the Skypes. Somebody that does English, write out the words, discuss these things, and get a better definition of what is taking place, because as the translation is taking place from English to French, there is a whole lot that is lost. So you decide. So that's a big project, but if you don't do it, it doesn't get done. But there's a lot of information. That's why I took the time to give these definitions, because like building a car, it's just not four wheels and a steering wheel. There's a lot more to it to put it together. And just like this, the new presentation, it only gets bigger. Okay, it doesn't come to a conclusion. It gets bigger, and because it's endless. So there's endless things to know. So anyhow, yes, thank you for being here.